just the intensity, the competitive fight, the physicality, all those things, as we all know, go up a notch. And we could talk about it a lot, but until they get out there and get their taste of the first action here tomorrow night, it's going to be new for them no matter what. So we're trying to emulate it as much as possible, especially with our male scout team. But they're excited for it. They're excited for the opportunity. They're excited that we're undefeated, and then we have a Big 12 opener at home. So there's a lot of excitement throughout our team right now as well.
I know Chris had mentioned that y'all had, run, in between drills or something like that during the offseason to kind of remind them that they were picked ninth in the Big 12. Do you kind of see a little bit of motivation now that Big 12 finally here for some of these girls?
Yes, to be specific, we call them Big 12 runs, and we ran for every team that was picked ahead of us in the Big 12 until games started, and then now that games have started, wherever we are in the standings, we run for one team ahead of us. So we haven't had to run since games started. That's been pretty nice, and it's been a nice little motivator. It's a good reminder to play with that chip on your shoulder and to go out and do something really big. I mean, the men did it last year. We're not talking in terms of a national championship game, but we're talking about in terms of getting to an NCAA tournament right now as we build the program and ultimately, big picture, a national championship game. But as we take our next step, that's our focus.
What have you been the most pleased with about your team since the start of the season?
Well, I'm pleased that we're undefeated and that we've reached our early goals here. I'm pleased with the newcomers and how they have adapted. But the important thing is that we're not comfortable with where we're at, and we're continuing to fight and get better every single day, and that remains a constant daily challenge, as it is for any program.
Where do you think your strength is?
Well, we have several, but I think our ability to score from multiple positions makes it hard for people.
What stands out on tape about Iowa State?
Well, I think, it's the normal traditional Iowa State. They can shoot the ball, and they can shoot it at all 5 positions, and that's the style they play. That's what they run. Positions 1 through 5 can hit a 3 for them, and they really spread you out. So that's the thing that stands out. They're not as experienced as they were last year. They have 3 starters that are missing from that lineup last year. One's out with injury. Two of them are out because they graduated, and one was co-player of the year in the Big 12. So they lost a lot. They're young at some positions. In particular, the 1, 2, and 3 position is young for them.
How similar are they to y'all offensively in terms of teams that like to shoot beyond the arc, and how does that maybe help you make it more difficult in scouting?
Yeah, they're similar in terms of they can shoot the 3, 1 through 5, but different looking teams. I think with our team, we have a little more athleticism, the ability to take people off the dribble a little bit more, especially with our guards, than what they do. So that's probably one of the bigger differences.
In terms of teams that shoot 3s, 1 through 5, is it helpful then that you have got girls out there who can say, okay, I kind of know what they're thinking, what's going through their head, and can guard 1 through 5?
We hope so. We hope so. We've been working on it quite a bit, and again, until you see those folks out there on the floor doing that and doing it so quickly. I mean, it's Big 12 time, and everybody in the Big 12 is going to have perimeter players that can shoot. But the unusual part about them is that their 4 and 5 can shoot it so well.
Can you talk about Ashley Jones a little bit and what she does for them and how important she is?
Oh, she's their leader. She's their everything. And the thing about Ashley Jones that's interesting is that. Not interesting, but that's so hard to go against is just how hard she plays. She's a competitor in every facet of the game. She played USA basketball, same as Brittany. And, those two going head-to-head I think will be interesting. She's an All-American candidate, but just her toughness and physicality. She's shooting 10 free throws a game. She knows how to draw fouls. So just the fact that she's a competitor, I think, stands out the most.
Cece said that this is a statement game for these players. Would you agree with that? And in what ways, what statement, I guess, do you want for your team to be able to make tomorrow?
Well, I think, it's game 1, and I think that's probably where she's coming from. It's game 1 of the Big 12. They want people to know that our undefeated non-conference record is valid, and that we can carry that over into a BCS level opponent as we did against Ole Miss, and want to show people that, especially here at home.
Off of that a little bit, the last time Lady Raiders were in this position of being undefeated in the non-conference, they kind of fell flat in the Big 12. I forget what their record was. Maybe 4 or 5 wins in the conference. How much do you take the non-conference and say, hey, look what we did, and continue that, but also at the same time, hey, we got to forget about that. We still got to prove ourselves undefeated record.
Well, I think for us, this isn't a normal time, I guess, if you will, because we're rebuilding and coming out of such a long period of success here. You know, it's been such a long time. And I think that because that part's not normal, we don't treat that so normal. I mean, the 11-0 first time in 8 years is really big for our young ladies, the fact that they've accomplished that, because the program was a 7-win team when we got here less than 24 months ago. So we don't forget that part. And I think we're talking more in terms of, hey, how close we were in several of these games last year, and we've added so much to our team. And now we're going to finish those games off. We're going to compete at a high level. Iowa State's missing 3 starters, and we've added all these new people. And our new people are averaging way more points and rebounds than their new people are. So we're looking at it more of the here and now. I didn't even know what that was back 8 years ago. But, you know, we're really focused on this unit and where this unit can go.
I would say it's a competition every night. Each game is one you have to fight through the whole game, and it just takes heart and effort the whole game, and defensively, most definitely.
I guess for you, do you kind of feel like you have something to prove once again after you were the freshman of the year last year in the Big 12?
Yeah, just letting people know that I've been improving in different areas, especially with my left hand, and just being more efficient this year than last year.
I guess just the game prior, you had 6 assists, no turnovers. Do you kind of feel like the game's slowing down for you a little bit after a little bit of, I guess, just trying to figure out where you're going to be on the floor?
Most definitely. Just me having pride, taking care of the ball, and just not being sloppy on offense, and just making the right reads in those moments.
I guess for you, how have you kind of adjusted, I guess, from last year to where you were kind of that go-to scorer, and now you've got multiple girls that can score double figures, and not only that, but then you can also play off the ball now.
I mean, there's so many talented people around me, and it's just fun just sharing the ball with them and just making the right assists and the right passes to them, and just knowing that they can score. Everyone can score on this team, so it's just fun.
I know last year they had Bridget Carlton, but I guess what have you seen from Ashley Jones from last year to this year?
She's phenomenal. She's very physical. She can shoot the ball. Her inside presence is very well. She can do everything, so we just have to defend her well.
I guess what do you kind of remember from Iowa State just overall from last year? I know obviously you guys had a chance to kind of upset them last year.
They're shooters. That's all they do, and they run the floor really well, so we just have to get back in transition.
Have you kind of settled into your role now a little bit? Because it's changed quite a bit from a year ago, like he was saying.
Just me not looking to score all the time and just making the right reads, just making better reads than what I did last year, and making the right play and getting to the right person when the person's hot.
You like that?
I really do. I like passing the ball, and I like seeing them score.
You talked about Iowa State. You said a team that likes to shoot threes, get up and down. It sounds a lot like you guys. How helpful or maybe tougher does it make it when you have a team that's so like?
It's tougher just because you have to know where everyone's at on the court, and you have to know what each player does, and if they're a driver or if they're just going to shoot the three, and if you have to go under the screen or over the screen. So it's just knowing what they do and just knowing personnel and just knowing how to guard it.
What's maybe the statement, though, that this team as a whole wants to make in this first conference game? I know that you guys have come a long way, and now's the time where you can really start to showcase that.
I would definitely say this is a statement game just because we got picked 9th, and we're just ready to show everybody what we can do and how we defend the ball as well this year. So I would just say just getting ready and just showing people what we can do.
Has that kind of been like bulletin board material, right? Like being picked last in the conference? I mean, how much has that motivated you guys?
It's motivated us a lot, especially in the off season when we had to do all that running, and we would run for every team that got picked in front of us. So that's just very motivational, and just knowing that what we can do and being confident in what we can do as well.
One thing I've noticed after the games, you guys post videos of Coach Stallings' dance. What do you think of her dance moves?
They got some work to do, but we're trying to get her there.
I thought the Big 12 was an amazing conference because, I got to go to so many games because it was so close to home, and I like the conference a lot.
Is anybody that stood out besides Baylor or Texas or TCU?
Not really. I mean, I went to a lot of TCU games growing up because my parents went there, and then I went to a lot of Baylor games and Texas games when I was being recruited. But I just feel like it's a really, really competitive conference.
How eager is this team to continue the success that you guys had non-conference play in conference play?
We're really excited. We want to keep being successful and we want to keep winning.
What has Coach told maybe some of the newer girls about what it's like to go through the Big 12?
Coach just said that it's going to level up. Everything's going to get harder. Everyone's going to compete. Everyone knows your knacks and your tendencies. So it's going to be a dogfight every night, but we can compete with the best of them.
What was it like for your parents having to switch from purple to red and black?
For them, I probably think it was a lot easier. Just knowing that I'm happy where I'm at. I mean, they still rep the purple and white, but red and black as well too.
Thoughts on Ashley Jones?
She's a great player. Yeah, she can do it all, and we're excited to get to compete against her.
Anything else?
You know, when you look at her, she draws a lot of fouls and gets to the free throw line. Is that a point of emphasis Friday night?
For sure. Yeah, big point of emphasis.